Hello, happy holidays, and welcome back to another day of Bookmas. I can't believe we're already a few days away from Bookmas ending, but the adventure is not done yet. We are going to be talking about my 2026 anticipated releases today. Specifically, we're going to be talking about my top 10 anticipated releases for 2026. Now, there are more books that I'm anticipating in 2026. These are I'm going to be buying them the moment that they're out books. Starting off in February, even though I know that there are some January releases, February is when the books I'm anticipating the most come out. So February 7th, we have The Astral Library, and this is by Kate Quinn. This really intrigues me because I love books about books, and I love books about books that have a magical element to them. This one is a fantastical adventure which poses the question, have you ever wished you could live inside a book? Welcome to the Astral Library, where books are not just objects, but doors to new world, new lives, and new futures. So there's apparently this hidden library where if you find it, you have the opportunity to start a new life in a fictional world that you absolutely love. And our main character actually ends up stumbling across this library, but before she's able to start her new life, an enemy starts to appear and starts to destroy everything that she's been working really hard towards in starting a new life. However, she's not sure if this enemy is after her, is after this ancient librarian, or if they're after the library itself. So this sounds really intriguing. Then moving further into February, we have on February 24th, 2 books releasing. The first one is Cleopatra. This is by Sarah El Arifi. This is one that once I realized it was going to be releasing next year, I instantly put it on my wish list for 2026 because, as I've said in many videos in the past, I have an obsession and love for ancient Egypt and ancient Egyptian civilization, and this one is Cleopatra tells her own story in this evocative and sensuous historical epic. Your historians call me a seductress, but I was ever in love's thrall. Your playwrights speak of witchcraft, but my talents come from the gods themselves. Your poets sing of my bloodlust, but I was always protecting my children. How willfully they refused to concede that a woman could be powerful, strategic, and divinely blessed to rule. So this is pretty much the story from Cleopatra's view, because a lot of historians see her as this seductress, this individual that gained her power through sleeping with the enemy, and so this is her story, her voice. I love books where it takes women in history and rewrites it from the women's voice instead of, historian voices, which are usually historically men. And then another one that is releasing on the 24th as well is And Now Back to You by B.K. Borson. I think this is the second one in her Heartstrings duology. I have not read the first one, but my friend really recommended it, and I just fell in love with B.K. Borson's writing. I definitely want to read more by B.K. Borson, and this one follows a love interest where one owns a radio talk show, and then the other is an upcoming journalist. So very interesting. Once again, I'm just starting to dabble into romance, but I think that because I've enjoyed B.K. Borson's writing so far, that I most likely will enjoy this one as well. Then moving into April, on April 7th, we have The Book Witch, and this is by Meg Schaefer. Once again, I'm really intrigued about these books that are about books with a little bit of magical element. This one is Come Along with the Book Witch in this magical and inspiring love letter to reading. So apparently, book witches are individuals that defend the fictional world, and they're able to hop from book to book and live in those fictional worlds, and they're protecting them. Now, I don't know what they're protecting them from, but just right there, that's enough for me to want to pick it up. This idea that there's book witches out there protecting fictional worlds, I'm all for it. Then moving on, we have another one that's going to be releasing in April. This one releases April 28th, and that is We Burn So Bright, and this is by TJ Klune. I have recommended TJ Klune consistently in the past. I have read every single thing that TJ Klune has published, and I will continue to read everything that TJ Klune has published. I love his writing. I love the fact that he has so many themes and morals in his story that he goes over, and he does such an amazing job at covering very difficult topics. So this one follows an elderly gay couple who are facing the end of the world. Married couple Don and Rodney, who are out of time, and they're racing against the clock to make it from Maine to Washington to take care of some of their unfinished business. So very excited for TJ Klune's new release for next year. I feel like he releases something every single year, and I will continue to look forward to it every single year. Then moving on to July, we have on July 7th, one that I have been anticipating for a very, very, very long time. It is my all-time favorite series, and that is Heartstopper. Heartstopper Volume 6, the finale in this wonderful, cozy, beautiful graphic novel series is coming to an end, and it breaks my heart to know that this is going to be the last volume that we will ever get of Heartstopper. So excited that we're going to be getting that next year. And then on July 14th, we have The Gilded Blade. This is by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. This is the third book in the Grandest Game trilogy. So this is the spin-off series to the Inheritance games. I have not yet read The Grandest Game, but it's definitely something that is on my TBR for 2026, and I do want to continue with this spin-off trilogy, so very excited about this one. I will most likely be picking it up as I have the rest of the trilogy. Then moving into August, there's only one book in August, especially since it's my birthday month, which is unfortunate, but there's only one book in August that definitely intrigues me. It is coming out August 4th, and that is Adversary to the Villain. I think this might be the fourth and final book in the Assistant to the Villains series. I'm not sure yet. I don't know what her plan is. I'm hoping it's the fourth and final one because I felt like it could end with the third one, but I'm very excited nonetheless. The series has been one of my most favorite fun series to kind of throw in when I'm in a reading slump. And then moving into our last two books, they both come out in September. The first one comes out September 8th, and that is Espiritu, and this is by Aidan Thomas. This is the second book to the Cemetery Boys. If you haven't read the Cemetery Boys, what are you waiting for? It's a beautiful story about finding oneself, about finding love, about acceptance, about coming out. It's just beautiful. And then the final book that I'm most anticipating for 2026 is coming out September 15th, and that is Grim Tidings, once again by B.K. Borison. This is the second book in her Ghosted universe. The first one was Good Spirits. It came out this year. I did read it. I did really enjoy it. I'm not going to say anything more than that because there's going to be a video on that. And Grim Tidings, I believe, deals with the ghost of Christmas Future, because Christmas Past was in Good Spirits. Christmas Future is what happens if you don't become a good person. So I'm definitely excited for Grim Tidings. As I said, I really enjoyed B.K. Borison's writing. She is one that I want to read a little bit more from, so of course I had this one on my list. Alright, so those are my 10 most anticipated books that are releasing in 2026. They're definitely ones that I have on my watch list. The moment that they're out, I am going to be buying them. Very excited about them. There are more, like I said, however, these ones were just the ones that really piqued my interest for next year. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments below what 2026 release you are most anticipating, and I will see you guys in my next Bookmas video. Bye!